From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is Friday Night Football.
Let's go, let's go. One of the best times of the year is finally here. Friday Night Football begins as early as it has ever been, a busy 0 week throughout the Treasure Valley.
Well, I think the anticipation has been building up. These local teams have been working at this since however their season ended back in November and December. And I'll tell you what, they lived up to the hype so far. We had some incredible matchups for week 0.
This first matchup, you might see this one like way down the line in late October, early November. To Thunder Stadium we go. You voted on this as your game of the week. The Eagle Mustangs hosting the Meridian Warriors. How about Davis Harsin, an Idaho State commit, also scoring off with Zeke Martinez, two of the best quarterbacks that you will find in the state of Idaho. We picked this one up in the third quarter. The Mustangs trailed by 6 at halftime, but they would find a way to make a comeback here early in the third quarter. Davis Harsin on 3rd and forever somehow picks up a first down. It would lead to this. Noah Burnham somehow breaks a few tackles, finds pay dirt. That put Eagle up 28-27. Now, here come the Warriors, and it would be a pair of beast mode runs by Marco Del Rio. That put them right down near the goal line, and well, he would finish what he started. And now Meridian goes back in front, 33-27. So, Mustangs with the ball early in the fourth quarter. On 4th and 13, they decide to go for it. Check out the throw here by Harsin. A little high, but his receiver certainly had a chance. Either way, it results in a turnover on downs, and here comes the Warriors. Check out this run by Cole Jones down inside the 10-yard line to give him a first down. Meridian would have 3 cracks at it to score a touchdown. They get denied once. That's twice. We go now to 4th down, and guess what? The Mustangs come up with a big-time stop. The Warriors go with a little trickeration here. It doesn't work out, and that was all the breathing room that the Mustangs would need. With just over 3 minutes to go in the contest, Harsin leads them right back down the field. And check out these runs by Noah Burnham. Brady, this kid is a sophomore. Everyone's scrambling for their programs to find out who this youngster was tonight. He is now a household name.
Yeah, you
My
can see
goodness.
why.
And he finishes it off. I mean, what a run right there. He would need a breather. So they run a little wide receiver run down almost into the end zone. He gets stopped at the 1. They give it to their battering ram, Eli Makita. He finishes off the game. Eagle with a dramatic 36-33 victory. That was the final touchdown run right there. We got out just a little bit early, but what an incredible finish to that contest.
And I'll tell you, that is a statement win for the Eagle Mustangs. And when you really look at it tonight, I believe Coeur d'Alene also beat Rigby. So you've got the 2 participants in the 5A state championship falling in week 0. I would say it's wide open for anybody who's going to come and vie for that championship. And Eagles certainly made their case early on tonight.
That one lived up to the hype. I want to revisit that game a little bit later on in the show. In the meantime, we're going to move this thing along because one of the best rivalries in the state of Idaho was going on over at Donna Larson Park. More on that in a moment. We go to Rocky Mountain where they were hosting Middleton.
The always electric atmosphere at Rocky Mountain High School. You can see the fan base and the Grizzlies themselves in the USA gear, but it's Middleton coming in early on the doorstep. Cash Weeks takes the handoff on 4th and inches, gets the Vikings on the board to start this game off. And from there, Middleton's defense would hold. They get the ball back with time winding down in the first quarter, but the ball's knocked loose, swarmed by Rocky Mountain's front 7. It takes a second for the officials to make the call, but it is going to be Grizzly football heading into the second quarter. A huge momentum swing, and Rocky is going to take advantage right here. 3rd and way long in the red zone. Gunnar Thompson drops back, evades the pressure, delivers a strike to Jaron Akibi cutting into the end zone. That gives Rocky their first touchdown of the season. Nice team-wide celebration there as this one is all tied up at 7. From there, Rocky kept it moving, but first Middleton making a lot of ground downfield. Great look right there, except for Brody Swearheart. Comes out of nowhere, takes this one the other way. He's got blockers. He breaks an awesome tackle from behind, puts another 6 on the board. Nice little momentum swing. Rocky Mountain beats Middleton 31-21. Scott Kreiner gets a win in his return as the head coach for the Grizz.
We love playing Capital. It's definitely our most prized game of the year.
Borah is always the biggest game of the year. We always try to work as hard as we can and prepare for it. I mean, we have shirts that even say beat Borah. It's such a big game to us.
We have fabled stories about guys breaking arms and kidneys and wanting to finish those games because that's Capital Week and they know that's what matters for the community and they want to lay it on the line for those guys.
It dates back, and there's been some great battles over the years, and we've come up short last few times, and we're looking to bounce back.
Every time I've played them, we've lost. We're 0-2 right now. We're just trying to end it on a win. And
Everybody just wants to go after it, so I'm excited for it.
oh yeah, they always come out with a lot of fire, but I think it's just our guys are real fired up this year. It's going to be a different story this year.
It's really exciting. A lot of the guys on the team are looking forward to it. You know, it's the rivalry. It's really the best way to start the year, especially with the week 0. You know, get out of the way early and hopefully meet them again in the playoffs.
I know this is a storied rivalry, Brady. Hats off to the alumnus that had the broken kidney, and still managed to play in this game.
Yeah, I don't think that's a tall tale. I'm sure JQ that really happened. Well, the high school season starts with the Borah Lions facing off with the Capital Eagles. Borah taking the last couple matchups, but it's Capital striking first in this one. That's Trevor Howe taking the screen pass from A.J. Danahay. He works down the sideline, gets a great block from Brody Call. And the Capital Eagles are the first team in the state of Idaho to score this season. Well, they tried to keep on flying, but it's actually Ryan Lopez of Borah putting them in the no-fly zone. He pulls down the interception. That would help lead to some great field position. But guess what? Capital's ready to flip it right back. Pass complete, but Shane Thomas knocks it loose, and Wyatt Call is there to recover the fumble. Now, here's where we get to the issue, and it was a problem all night. They don't get the best field position, and Borah's D-line was attacking them all night. Look at how the Lions swarm the ball. They bring down the quarterback in the end zone. The crowd is doing the safety dance. Big night for the Lions. They win it 29-20, holding on to the rivalry win for another year. Now, Boise State commit Trevor McKenna had 6 sacks tonight. They said they're looking it up. That might be the single game record for their program. They're going to be checking on that. And Jevin Nelson, he missed last season with injury, 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. I didn't get any of those, but you can see a nice run from him right here. We're shaking the rust off, but that's my bad, Jevin. Great win for the Lions tonight.
All right, a doubleheader. Maybe the first time this has ever happened. I mean, for my time, this has never happened at DLP before. So a doubleheader on opening night and another rivalry on opening night.
And both teams looking for some big-time turnarounds, and I think both of them are going to be able to do it. Look at Timberline coming out slinging it. Hudson Lewis pulls down the pass, and he sets the Wolves up inside the 5-yard line. Now, the Brave defense would hold all the way to 4th down, but T-Line decides, you know what, we're not kicking the field goal. We're going to go for it. Now, we're missing some names tonight. Couldn't get the rosters online. That's our bad, but check out number 10, breaking in for 6. First touchdown of the game. He's excited. His teammates are excited. And from after this, though, we're actually going to see a lot of defense in this one. Boise looking to bounce back, but look at number 16 coming down with it. That's a big guy coming down with a big-time interception. It felt like Timberline had all of the momentum early on in the rivalry game. They look to go back through the air on this one, but this time it's a red and black jersey coming down with it. Yeah, great defensive battle, went back and forth. Boise apparently turned this one around because this game started a little late, still going on. They're leading 33-14 in the 3rd quarter right now.
Wow, how about Boise? My goodness.
Yeah. You never know in a rivalry game.
Playing at 11 o'clock at night. Maybe we rethink the doubleheader thing. I'm not certain, but I don't think I've ever been on air at almost 11 o'clock and not been able to tell you guys the final high school football score. So
it was a fun day though, for the people who spent the evening at Donald Larson Park. A lot of action.
If you're still there, you've been there for a little over 5 hours.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about the sun anymore, you know?
Hey, let's head on out to Cuna, the Cavemen hosting Centennial. A beautiful evening out there. Cuna without their starting quarterback for this one, so they actually had to roll with a freshman. It actually worked out okay for them, and mostly because their ground game was doing work. Austin Latimer takes it down near the goal line. That results in a first down. Shortly after that, the Cavemen, behind what might be the biggest offensive line in the SIC, push it across into the end zone. That made it 7-zip. The Cavemen were playing well on defense too. How about Diego Valencia with the interception there, and then the best celebration of the evening, and it's not even close. You got the turnover belt, the turnover thrown, looking good, my friend.
You could argue
Cuna.
that's a contender for the best celebration of the year already, and we haven't really even started yet.
Yeah, Boise State had a turnover thrown. I believe that was 2017. They debuted it down at Troy, and it was cool, and it is. But man, Cuna took their turnover thrown to a whole new level. They got it on a flatbed there. You run over, you get the belt as well. It was funny. Right before that happened, I was like, I better get a couple shots of the turnover thrown just in case. And then my man Diego comes up with the pick, and then he runs over there, and well, I didn't need the B-roll of the empty thrown, thanks to you, Diego.
Yeah, that's big time for him. And I got to say, you can't limit yourself to just a chain or just a chair, just a belt.
Maybe
they got everything going.
Maybe they add the chain now.
I think you got to see how many things they should add a new thing every turnover. So you get 20 turnovers in the season. They got to juggle at the end of it.
Hey, you've been challenged, Cuna.
All right, let's head over east. It is a party in Rexburg tonight for the season opener between the Owyhee Storm and the Madison Bobcats. We're going to pick things up on Owyhee's first possession. Third down for the Storm. Porter Cottle rushes in for the sack. Gets the third down stop, but Owyhee would get onto the board this possession thanks to a field goal by Nathan Gamet. The Storm take a 3-0 lead, and Madison's next possession is going to be the epitome of staying alive. Here is their third fourth down conversion of the drive, coming right through as the Bobcats continue to move the chains once again. Now 2 plays later and a red zone turnover later, Logan Hosfite grabs the ball from the top shelf, picks off Madison. The Storm would get it done tonight on the road, defeating the Bobcats 24-17. Hey, we got to send a congratulations to Jason Burton getting the dub tonight with his brand new team. They're off to a good start.
Yeah, they got to go all the way across the state to start the season off.
Well, East Idaho's kind of been running the show. I think they got to. It's time for the Treasure Valley to start telling them what's up.
Yeah. I think Owyhee just did.
Absolutely.
All right, let's dip on down to the 4A classification. Columbia rolling into this one here. Just an absolutely beautiful night in Nampa. And how about an incredible courtesy flyover from the Warhawk Air Museum? The Hawks were flying high early in this contest as they were taking on Lowry, high from Winnemucca, Nevada. We picked this one up. How about quarterback Eric Valencia drives his team down the field only to get picked off by Jared Payne. Look at Payne go. Almost takes this one all the way back the other way. The good news is he also actually plays quarterback here for the Wildcats, and he throws the touchdown. So he gets the pick, throws the touchdown. Columbia goes on to roll in this one this evening. I believe they put up 51 points. 51-30 the final. All right, up next, another Nevada against Idaho battle.
I love an interstate football game.
Right? Elko traveling over to take on Skyview. Kind of a big season for the Hawks. Beginning play without Dave Young. Was there forever as the head coach. Ooh, check out this play right here. Does he come down with it? He does. Hauls it in with one hand, makes a guy miss, and it is off to the races. I wish we could say that's our guy. That's the guy from Nevada. Either way, that made it a 7-7 contest. And we continue here in the third quarter. How about Ethan Krantz here, handing it off to Francisco Acosta. That continued to make this a really close game. Some defense now by Skyview. Getting into the backfield right there. A good contest. This one would go down to the absolute wire. A hard-hitting, physical contest, but Skyview sneaks past Elko. 29-26 the final.
And let's head over to the home opener at Thunder Ridge. We're keeping it east tonight. The Titans taking on the Minico Spartans. The fans are pumped up for a new football season, and the Spartans take first blood tonight. First quarter, number 21 pounds it into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night. As we said, we are missing a couple of names from the rosters. A fumbled PAT turned the two-point conversion into a touchdown, so the Spartans would go up 8-0. And they would keep the pressure on the Titans with the quarterback keeper. Look at the wheels on this guy. He goes all the way, 80 yards for the touchdown, 14-0 Minico. It seemed like the Spartans might run away with this one, but the Titans showing that they have some grit, putting together a solid drive. Sophomore quarterback Ryan Taylor finds the open receiver. He walks into the end zone to close the gap. Thunder Ridge down 14-7. That score would stay true going into the half thanks to some big-time defense. But the Spartans would get enough to take care of business tonight, 28-14 as the final. A nice jumping up a division and coming home with the dub for Minico tonight.
Yeah. So there you have it. You know, not a full slate of games in 0 week, but more than I have ever had in my 13 years of working here at KTVB. So a fun evening. And I go back to the game of the night, though. Again, you guys voted on it at KTVB.com, calling Meridian at Eagle the game of the evening. And being there, what an absolute battle. You know, Brady, you have that conflict that goes with looking at your watch and knowing you have to rush back to the station in order to edit some highlights, but also you sense some magic happening because it is Friday night, right? And after Eagle starts to make that goal line stand where they deny Meridian, and they did it once and they did it twice, and you're like, hey, man, Eagle might do this. And they get it on 3rd down, and then they get the turnover on 4th down. And then all of a sudden, the Mustangs go back down the field. Their senior quarterback transferring back from the state of Alabama. You know the last name well. Davis Harsin, the son of Brian Harsin, helps direct that comeback win with some really tough running by Noah Burnham and ultimately the game-winning touchdown by Eli Makita. But I was really impressed with what Eagle put forth tonight.
Absolutely. And, you know, the thing that's exciting about Davis Harsin, I was talking with James Kloof, who's also the first-year head coach jumping up from OC. We talked about, you know, how hard it is to come back to a school, pick up an entire new offense, and be ready to take command of that team right away. The way you know how Davis Harsin earned the respect of his teammates and was ready to take control? By showing what he can do in the weight room, going 100% every day, no reps off, all that. And his teammates really responded to that. And, of course, obviously, they knew him growing up, Optimist football, middle school, freshman year. He's really excited to be back here and going to be sticking around the Gem State for a while, committing to Idaho State.
Yeah, I know you caught up with him.
We did, yeah. And he dove through, you know, kind of all the things we just talked about.
Had to do it before, and I will say it's difficult, but it's something I can't not handle. Having my dad as a tool to learn football and life has really helped me in learning this offense too. Coming back, it's really just fun to see all the friends that I grew up with and reconnect with them and play one last season with them. Coach Hawk, Coach Mont, whole Idaho State coaching staff, they just welcomed me with open arms immediately. Those guys are great. Just love the atmosphere, love the players there as well, the city, everything about Idaho State I just really love and enjoy.
And as you said, Davis going to Idaho State, committed to play. It's really, it's hilarious, man. He talks about Coach Hawk, and my mind immediately goes to Dan Hawkins, but he's talking about Dan's son, who is now the head coach at Idaho State. And at one point in time, Davis's dad, Brian, played for Dan Hawkins at Boise State. Dan Hawkins was an assistant coach when the older Harsin was there, and now you have the two younger Harsins that are teaming up as a quarterback and a coach. It's crazy how it comes full circle, but it's cool. And now kind of just stepping back and just looking at everything that we just put on air right there, Brady, feels like Eagles now the team to beat in the 5A ranks.
I absolutely would think so. I mean, when they play Rocky, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
You know, we always got those teams who are trending up, and I think there are going to be some teams that are going to be some big surprises this year. Mountain View looks incredible. They kick off next week.
Yeah.
Tampa is going to be looking very good, running the triple option this year.
Yeah, interesting. Mountain View, the only team in the 5A SIC that got that opening 0-week bye, right? And so next week, they take on Meridian. All of a sudden, the Warriors, I mean, I don't want to say season on the brink, but that is, to have Eagle and Mountain View back-to-back right out of the gate, that is about as tough a draw that you could get in the 5A SIC. And when it comes to Mountain View, you know, I think this might actually play to their favor because it was an interesting 0 week for me, Brady. A ton of flags, at least in one of the games that I was at, kind of sloppy play. I don't know this has ever happened before in my time covering high school football here in the Treasure Valley. At the Centennial Cuna game, with 11 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter, both teams had used all of their timeouts.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
some confusion, trying to get on the same page. They only have that basically week and a half to prepare. You get the week to practice, and then it is immediately game week. As I relate that to Mountain View really quick, they get kind of like almost 2 weeks of a preseason before they hit game week. That's the way they really used to do it. So maybe the Mavs have a little bit of an upper hand. One could argue the Warriors figuring out some kinks as they, you know, actually got to play on Friday, though.
Yeah, definitely. And you could argue that experience from this Friday carries over, but you know, a lot of it starts at practice too. So it'll be a fun thing to look at next week.
Unfortunately, we wanted to have a few players from the Borah High football team on the show this evening. It's a little late. They had that early kickoff today. They're a little tired. We're going to try to arrange it another time and have some people in studio this year. We should have a lot of fun. Just a 0-week kickoff here on Friday Night Football. If you thought tonight was busy, it's going to be even busier next Friday as really the rest of the state joins the party, Brady.
I mean, and I have not been more excited to kick this off. I've been waiting all summer to be back under the Friday night lights.
Yeah, well, we're going to remind you right now, head on over to KTVB.com. Zach Armstrong and Danny Alsop already cutting highlights. We got those for you. We appreciate John Mark for coming in, shooting some highlights for us tonight. And again, the whole crew is going to be in action next week, so it should be a lot of fun this season on Friday Night Football. Check out the highlights at KTVB.com. You got anything else, bud?
No, I'm just ready to. I'm amped up, bro. I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now.
Yeah, you're living on the razor's edge, man.
I'm always on the razor's edge.
Yeah, it is always championship week around here at KTVB. For Brady, Frederick, I'm Jay Tust. We appreciate you watching Friday Night Football. We'll see you same time, same place next week, everybody.